today's episode of PJ and the Beard, we're not going to talk about a guitar. We're not going to talk about pedals. We're not going to talk about an amp. Today, we're going to talk about a pickup. Before I get into that, though, I'd like to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel, clicking on the notification bell. Your interaction with us helps us interact with great people in the industry. And this case, our first experience with Porter pickups via Brian Porter. He sent us this lovely, that's not it, but the P90 vintage hot pickup because we did a little something. He did a little something tonight I watched. He's going to tell you about what we did.
Yeah. What do Porter pickups and PJ and the Beard have in common? We both use Tyler amps.
True story.
Right. So
you may have found the connection.
Yeah, that might be the connection between the two. So yeah, he sent us this new P90 because they reached out to us about looking at some pickups, and I was trying to think, well, what would be a good guitar to change pickups in? And this guy popped to mind. This is a Harley Benton DC Jr. It's like $179 guitar.
Not anymore.
But the thing about it is, it's really a nice guitar.
Yeah.
Plays nice. The neck is nice. The hardware, it stays in tune. Like, yeah, we've been really happy with this guitar, having it around, and that's why we kept it around. And so the question is, would upgrading that Roswell pickup they had in it to something like a Porter pickup change the way we feel about it?
And don't worry, we have the Roswell encapsulated in here in case there is actual alien technology. We have it locked down inside of this for your safety.
Yes, the Roswell. Maybe we can flash some pictures up of us changing the pickup at some point in here, because really not hard to do in a P90 guitar. That was maybe another reason I thought this would be a good idea, because it's like literally like 2 solder joints and you're done. So we were able to shoot a bunch of clips tonight. Then we ran upstairs, pulled the pickup out, put the new pickup in, came down and shot all the clips over again. So we can put them all back to back. The approach was, let's do some clean tones, and then let's jump through a bunch of like common overdrive pedals or J overdrive pedals that we like. So we started clean tone wise.
Yeah, I did clean tone through that guitar, through the Tyler, as we mentioned earlier, with the DLS Echo Tour. And that was my clean tone. Try to play some kind of open chords, couple bar chords just to get an idea. And you will hear them back to back. You'll hear the original pickup first, and then you'll hear the Porter pickup second. And this is what we did.
So when I was thinking about this video, it was like, well, we're not going to really showcase, like Pat's going to be able to remember what position he's on this guitar.
That's right.
There's one pickup. So after we did the clean tones, maybe we could get out some common overdrive pedals or pedals that we like and run through those. So the first pedal I grabbed, which I think is a pretty popular pedal, is from Mr. Greer over there at Greer Amps, the Lightspeed. I don't have it set super transparently, but in both of these clips, the settings are exactly the same. We didn't change anything. So you might think, well, if you changed the pickup, you would dial it in a little bit, but we wanted you to hear a one for one. Lightspeed.
All right, and for my clip, and we honestly didn't talk about this, I thought, well, what pedal could I use that might be somewhat transparent, kind of let the pickup shine through? Well, recently I fell prey to the the sale from JHS for the Overdrive preamp, and yes, I have the rip, so it's over there. So it's the Overdrive preamp. I had it set super low gain and wanted to kind of just play through some chords so you could hear what it sounds like. Again, the Roswell first and the Porter second, and this is what we did.
Sticking with popular or favorite overdrives, the LPD. Lawrence Petros designs his pedals well loved. This is his 55 tweed style pedal, and one that I would most certainly use with a guitar like that with one pickup in it. So here's what this sounds like.
All right, for my next clip, I'm not sure I'm getting progressively bigger with the gain, but Brody, we still have your pedal. It's the J Rockett Archer Beck mod that I keep pulling out before I remember to give it back to Brody. And played it with some light, a little heavier edge to it, and played a riff-oriented thing, and this is what it sounded like.
We certainly can't do a video where we play through a bunch of overdrives and not have our good friend David Barber show up. So next pedal, I grabbed the direct drive. This is the version 4. I did not go back to my trusty version 1. Grab the version 4, and here we go. Both pickups. We'll start with the stock and then go to the Porter.
right, not to be left out of the barber party, I tried to find something. What could I get that's kind of heavy? Because I wanted to get even more riffy, if you will. Dropped it down to drop D. I grabbed the Burn Unit, juiced it pretty good, and played this.
I don't know if you can see it on camera, but when Pat was talking about the Burn Unit, it has that beautiful sparkle finish on it. I'm sitting here like I'm looking at it like, wow, that thing's really sparkling. So we had a question, like sometimes as you crank the drive up, and I can tell you, well, we'll get into final thoughts later, but sometimes when you crank the drive up, does the pickup make as much difference? And I thought, well, what if we just went all the way? Like, what if we put a fuzz pedal in front of it? And then one of my, I'm always looking for an excuse because there's
nowhere else to play it.
Nowhere else to play it. Grab the Kangra on the fuzz side, and just wanted to hear if I do this on the original pickup and then do it in the Porter pickup, would you actually hear a difference? And here's what that sounds like. That was supposed to be the video, but before we jump into the final thoughts here, I did say to Pat, maybe we should take it on a spin, a little bit. So Pat laid down some rhythm guitar. I grabbed the Harley Benton with the Porter pickup in it. And I just went, Barber Electronics into the Echo Tour into the Tyler, which seems to be my go-to rig. What did you do for the backup of that?
I grabbed the trusty travel board with the G-Lab dual reverb and the Echo Tour because I played through the MT15, the PRS MT15. It doesn't have reverb. And I threw on the JHS Overdrive because it was here. And I ended up grabbing the PRS DGT SE, maybe for a reason, maybe not. Check back with us later.
I have a feeling they're not going to be as easy to put in that guitar as they were to put in this.
We may solicit some help with this particular wiring job here. But
all right, so final thoughts.
I was really curious. It's a $179 guitar with that Roswell pickup in it. We did a comparison with our Gibson Junior and then with my grandfather's Junior, and clearly it didn't win that. But it's not a terrible pickup, right? But we're always like, all the reasons you said in the beginning. It plays nice. It feels good. It stays in tune. What would it sound like with a better pickup?
Which we've been talking about since the day we got it.
So after more than doubling the value of the guitar by putting the Porter in tonight, it did not disappoint. I'd be curious to see what you guys think. In the room, it sounded very different. A little fuller, a little fatter. All the harmonics were still there. Over at the computer, sometimes it was a little bit more subtle, but in the room, there was a huge difference with the Porter, I thought. And I don't want to steal all your thunder. And that was with, do we have it adjusted exactly right? You sent Brian a quick message. He responded really quickly about you could raise the poles on the pickup. And so, tweaking, there's not really a pickup height adjustment necessarily on that. So kind of a quick and dirty, guerrilla style install, string change, and boom, here we go. But I loved it. I appreciate what Brian did for us. I'm not a modder, I'm not a tinker, but I'll tell you what, after hearing that, oh boy.
Right. So my first clip, I think the clip on the 55 and the Lightspeed, we did no adjustments. And then after that, he got back to us and we pulled up the pole pieces a little bit.
Like just above the plastic cover,
yeah,
not super high.
Yeah, we weren't sure it made much of a difference. We actually recorded one pedal twice, I think. I forget which one it was. But we actually, I think it was the Barber pedal. They were down a little bit, and the Lightspeed, they were down. But we didn't think it made much. It didn't make that much of a difference that we went back and re-recorded those 2 clips, I guess is what I'm trying to say. In the room, it's a night and day. And probably what would make sense is the place that you're going to hear that on the video is probably in Pat's clean sounds, because that's where it really jumped out at me is like with it not plugged into a pedal. I would say the Harley Benton pickup was more brittle.
Right.
I'm going to say bright.
There wasn't a depth to it. It was
brittle.
Yeah.
Not bad, but brittle. And then you put this in and there's like I thought there was a warmth to it. There was just something about it that we always anything that gets warmer, maybe.
That's right. Anything that's not mix friendly, we love it. Just kidding.
Yeah, but it's it's a hotter pickup and stuff, but I did feel like there was more, maybe warmth isn't the right word, more body to it. Something. More better.
He's going to get a thesaurus out and just run a list of words that go thicker, more body.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that. I thought that was really cool. I'm really happy with the change. I thought the change was easy. We were really pleased with the $179 guitar. Right. Which just blows my mind that this thing is as good as it is. And I don't care what anybody says. This is right. Like when I was starting out, if you had given me a guitar of this quality, yeah, man. So you can get a lot for your money these days. And then to put a pickup like that in, and it's a rocker. Pat keeps saying we ought to go back and compare it to so we have a newer Gibson SG Jr. and a 65 Gibson SG Jr. There's a video out with the 3 of them, and you'll hear how this doesn't kind of stack up with those 2, but it's not far behind. Right. Originally. Right. Now I think it might be a different story.
I think we have more content for the channel coming.
Yeah, I think it would hang. For sure. For shizzle my nizzle. Anything else?
No, I'm pleasantly surprised.
Right.
You get to hear it with your own ears. At least we did. You'll hear it on the recording.
And so stay tuned, because Brian sent us a set of humbuckers too. Which ones are they?
They are, I love it. The neck model is the smooth and the bridge model is the classic. So, and for those of you who care, the output on this is 12.3K. For those of you, that's about as geeky as we're gonna get, and that's only because Brian put it on the back of the box.
So those probably going in the DGT, and there's a whole back reason for why we decided to do it in that. But stay tuned, because I think that's going to be pretty fabulous. And so with that, thanks for watching. If you click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click the like button, any of that stuff, that's what helps us form relationships with people like Brian Porter to get in cool stuff to share with you. And with that,
PJ, on behalf of the Beard, reminding you, no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear.